Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Rank where I climb the online VGC 20 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. For the last two episodes, we featured a really cool team with Galissapod and Weezing, so playing one last episode with it today. It's actually the last day, I believe, of the rank season, so the ratings will reset tomorrow, but had a lot of fun with this team. Definitely had some really interesting games, and of course this was created by one of my Twitch subs, DMAT, so thanks to him for providing the team. There is a rental code for the team linked in the description below as well if you want to try it out, and let's just jump into today's episode. Apologies for missing out on an upload yesterday. As you can tell, I've moved back home, and I will be home for the next 2 months, and then I'll be moving out to California to start my full-time job, so you can expect more content in the next couple of weeks. As I've mentioned, I'll be streaming a lot more on Twitch, so you can catch me at Twitch on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays at twitch.tv/CybertronVGC. So let's jump into today's episode. Question of the day: I am curious who your favorite starter Pokemon is from any of the generations. Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, thank you guys as always for supporting the channel and for watching as we look for our first opponent of the day. Let's see what they're going to have. We'd like to bring out Galissapod and Weezing as much as possible today, so that's the goal. Pretty scary stuff here. Like, anytime I see a Whimsicott, I'm already scared because there's just the threat of immediate Tailwind, but you've got a lot of really offensive sweepers in Dracovish and Dragapult, and then Toxtricity, which is really cool there as well, as Conkeldurr and Mimikyu. So I don't see much stopping my opponent from, like, reversing or stopping Trick Room outright. They could reverse Trick Room with Mimikyu, but, like, if I lead Incineroar Dusclops, it's relatively free, like, fake out Trick Room, I think. My fear is if they have Helping Hand on Whimsicott, they lead Whimsicott Dragapult, because you could just Helping Hand Phantasm turn 1. That would be bad. Excadrill's not bad here, but it also does not feel great. Yeah, I'm honestly thinking we can just go Incineroar, Dusclops, Galissapod, Weezing, which is the main mode with this team. I think I'm alright with that. Let's give it a try. Yeah, I think the one thing I really don't want to see with this is Whimsicott Dragapult, and even if it is, it's not like the end of the world. Like, I could always just go for Ally Switch and like Flare Blitz if I'm really scared of the Helping Hand Phantasm, and anything else, and we have Fake Out Pressure immediately. They go with Whimsicott Dracovish, which is fine by me. I mean, yeah, I think this is a pretty free Fake Out into Whimsicott and Trick Room. Of course, I could Fake Out the Dracovish, but I think Whimsicott's almost always going to be taunting here. And if I Fake Out, then Vicious Wren does less damage, plus my opponent's intimidated. So, yeah, it's a relatively foolproof play. Risk the Sash and the Scarf, too. That's good. Banded would obviously hurt a lot more right now. So, yep, just going to Fake Out into Whimsicott and Trick Room here. And then what we can do is go for a Parting Shot Nightshade, or even Flare Blitz, honestly, if Whimsicott doesn't protect here, just because Sash will be broken. But Parting Shot is what we're aiming to do right now, I think. Because we want the Galissapod and the Weezing in for free. That would be very ideal. But this is a pretty solid lead. They don't protect the Whimsicott or switch out, so this is super ideal. Like, I think going up against Dracovish is one of like the best Pokemon we could have seen, just because it's like super bad under Trick Room. As okay, we get Trick Room off. I think I'm actually gonna go for Ally Switch this next turn and Flare Blitz into the Whimsicott. I don't mind Incineroar going down, I think. Unfortunately, we were 1 HP point off our Berry getting activated. If the Berry got activated, I think I'd switch out. But Flare Blitzing Whimsicott seems fine here, and the Ally Switch just covers the option of... actually covers a bunch of options. I mean, you probably are targeting Incineroar, but it also covers the potential Encore option from Whimsicott. But they actually reveal Protect. Okay. Good play on their end. Yeah. Could have Parting Shot at Dracovish there. I think if they're protecting, though, that means they don't have Encore. Surprised the Protect came out this turn and not last turn. Okay, Vicious Wren comes out. Yeah, it doesn't really do very much. Now I'm going to go for the Nightshade onto the Dracovish and the Flare Blitz into Whimsicott. Yeah, actually, I mean, I'm not sure if Dracovish will KO us. After Recoil, and despite having Berry, I think after Recoil will, but I've now implemented the idea of Ally Switch into my opponent's side. They actually have Taunt, so that's probably what they were going for turn 1. Yeah, actually that makes a lot more sense. Obviously they want to taunt turn 1, but that's fine by me because I like the majority of the attacks I want to make right now are Nightshade anyway. So best case actually is that Incineroar goes down here because then I can just get a free switch into probably the Galissapod, and then we can start putting in work with Galissapod. Okay, yep. So activates our Berry. And if my opponent was trying to predict the Ally Switch here, calls it incorrectly, it means a free Parting Shot this next turn. Although there is a chance Conkeldurr's in the back. but they are just going to target Incineroar. Okay, fine by me. That's, like I said, pretty ideal. Only downside is we have one less turn of Trick Room than I think we would have hoped for, but yeah, we can bring out Golisopod. Depending on what comes in here, I mean, we could theoretically Dynamax Weezing. We haven't done that yet with this team, and you don't want to most of the time, but there are certain cases for it. Mimikyu is... Yeah, I'm not sure we need to really max against that. This is a pretty free, just Nightshade into Mimikyu, max Golisopod. I think we can just Geyser here, yeah. Like, Dracovish under Trick Room is truly one of the worst Pokemon. It just doesn't do anything. Granted, I will be setting up the Rain for my opponent, but, like, Vicious Ren still isn't doing that much damage. Yeah. They could max either Pokemon. I guess it's interesting because it's like, bringing out Mimikyu against Trick Room is surprising. I don't think there's ever a reason to Shadow Sneak there, right? Because, yeah, the Dusclops goes first. I don't want to reveal Shadow Sneak either. And, yeah, like, whatever attack we're using is just meant to break the disguise anyway. Okay, yeah, so Mimikyu doesn't even max or protect, so it should be going down to this double up. I don't think it can take a Life Orb Geyser. And then there's still one more turn of Trick Room left, so, like, the Dracovish isn't going to max, so I guess whatever my opponent's last Pokemon is going to be the one that wants to max. But I think this double up should just KO the Mimikyu. Let's see. Yep. Has to be a Vicious Ren, obviously. Even if it goes into Dusclops, like, Rain is up, we're still probably just under 50% health, which is obviously really solid. Okay, so Vicious Ren. It doesn't even bring us under half, wow. Yeah, I guess my opponent's counter to Trick Room is really just Taunt, but... And Dragapult's the last one, okay. That's fine. We do have to be a little bit careful, I guess, because... Yeah, I mean, it could cause some problems. I honestly wonder if just a... Like, we'll just KO the Dragapult outright. Or, sorry, the Dracovish outright. Because we do need to KO it now, given that it's the last turn of Trick Room. So, I mean, I'm leaning towards Nightshading Dragapult. And I don't know if we'll KO Dracovish is the thing, right? Because... Flutterby should be enough. I'd be surprised if it weren't. I'll play it safe, though. Yeah, because Dracovish surviving would actually be really bad here. So I'll just guarantee the KO into Dracovish. Dragapult actually protected. Interesting. I'm actually not sure I agree with that, because I feel like you're not an immediate threat in terms of damage right now, so you want to just pick up a KO on something. But, yeah, I mean, this was just a classic, like, Trick Room team having a better matchup against a team that didn't have too much of a Trick Room matchup. Like, I think, like I said, the scariest lead would have been maybe Whimsicott Dragapult, just because I don't know the Whimsicott's moveset. Mimikyu also could have caused some mind games, but I wouldn't have minded Mimikyu too much just because I had, you know, Incineroar for the Intimidate. Yeah, I think we're fine to just Trick Room here and attack with the Golisopod. Because you probably have to Phantasm to just KO the Dusclops. If you do that, I get a free Geyser off, and then I get Weezing into. I guess Dragapult could maybe 3v1 right now. But I don't... Is there no point in Ally... actually, the point in Ally switching is to conserve Dynamax, right? Or sorry, waste turns of Dynamax, right? Like, how we've beaten Dragapult previously is just effectively waste their Dynamax. We actually have for Airstream. Okay, well, that should end the game then. I do not understand that one. I think you have to Phantasm there. Speed does not help, and you have to KO the Dusclops. Unless my... I mean, there's just no reason to Airstream there ever, I don't think. Especially because it didn't even target the Golisopod, which I thought it was going into, given like Golisopod is, I mean, it's super effective against Golisopod. That would have also forced us out, but, like, I think this trade-off was always fine. I guess it could have been pretty scary, right? Because if Phantasm just KO'd the, if Phantasm just KO'd the Dusclops, then we would have been at -1 defense with Golisopod, and we wouldn't have gotten Trick Room up, so then it would have been Weezing plus Golisopod with 2 turns of Dynamax left on Dragapult's end. To which I think we're fine still. I mean, now we can obviously just Nightshade and Liquidation here. But, yeah, the Airstream there was kind of confusing. Maybe my opponent was reading the Ally Switch, actually. Like, that's the one thing that makes sense. But, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're actually reading the Ally Switch. I don't think there's any other reason to go for the play like they did. So I'm curious, yeah, on the sets. Let's see. It was Policy Dragapult. Yeah, standard physical, Life Orb, Conkeldurr, Scarfish as we saw, and Moonblast was the last attack on Whimsicott. So no helping hand there. Weakness policy is interesting because there's no great way to... actually, there was the Mimikyu. So yeah, I guess Mimikyu Dragapult actually would have been really problematic, but what I would have done against that was probably... actually, I think I should have respected Mimikyu Dragapult more. We hard lose to that, now that I think about it. Even if I ally switch turn 1, you still get a Phantasm off, which does a lot of damage at +2. So, I don't think I actually made the best lead there, but we got to Dynamax Golisopod again, so I'll take it. Alright, next game of the day, we're up against Roserade, which is always cool. It's a little harder this time around to lead with the Incineroar. This might be a Dragapult game, solely because of Max Lightning here, which counters Roserade. Doesn't feel great. I mean, Golisopod does a lot of damage here still, right? But the thing is that Milotic is, I think, going to be a really big problem here. Could max our Excadrill. Nah, Excadrill doesn't seem that great here, especially with Intimidate, Conkeldurr, and Bulky Water. Wheezing could be interesting. I'm leaning towards Dusclops, Dragapult, Golisopod, Wheezing. Incineroar is still solid here. But I think Weezing's actually really good here, right? Because the only thing that my opponent has to like threaten it with a lot of damage is Excadrill. So if we KO Excadrill, then Weezing can like pain split everything basically. And Strange Theme Sludge Bomb does a lot of good damage as well. Okay, so let's see. We can put on a lot of immediate pressure with the weakness policy stuff. They go with Incineroar or Milotic, okay. So like the only fear, I mean, here is Milo going for like max ice. So one interesting option I could go for is, let's see. We definitely have a lot of options here. I'm just not sure which one is the best. I'm also curious if it's Life Orb Milo. No, it's Citrus. Okay, so it's a little bit less offensive, which means we should definitely take a max ice. I have Golisopod Wheezing in the back. I mean, the play I'm leaning towards is honestly just self Shadow Sneak and max Lightning here. If Milotic doesn't Dynamax, that should one-shot it. And if it does Dynamax, it's not going to KO the Dragapult. Although, I guess you could max Hailstorm and go for a Dark-type attack to KO the Dragapult. That's my main fear. But it's Citrus, which makes me think it's less offensive. So, you know, you obviously would normally want Muddy Water, Recover, and you know, it could be like Coil Hypnosis, for example. So let's see. No max. Okay, perfect. Alright, this should be a KO, I think, unless Milotic is really specially defensive for some reason. Either way, though, now we're definitely not getting KO'd, and we can't get put to sleep because of Electric Terrain. Okay, so Max Lightning comes out. Beautiful. Oh, wow, that didn't want to KO. Okay, not so beautiful. But it's still okay. I don't think my opponent can really do too much because they didn't max the Milotic. But, I mean, yeah, that just shows how bulky Milotic is as a Pokemon. The fact it can take that is quite impressive. But I don't think I would change my play there. They're going to opt for Coil. Okay, that is more than okay with me. Yeah, so my hunch was right. Maybe a Parting Shot here, or just a Dark-type attack. Taunt. Okay. Yeah, that is no problem with me. I think Max Warmwind here is fine. KO the Milo. And go for a Nightshade onto the Incineroar. I think that's fine. If Milo has Protect, maybe it considers going for it, but I think it's hard to have Protect on Milo if you're running Coil, because you want Hypnosis. It actually switches out into Excadrill. Okay. So, Phantasm actually may have been better to cover for that switch out, but this is also fine. Like, he's still eating up a, you know, +2 Max Wormwind, which should bring it under 50%, I think. Oh my goodness. That did like 95%, never mind. Is that a crit? Not even, nope. Dragapult is just so strong. Yeah, okay, great. Get the attack drop, maybe a Parting Shot, yeah. But now whatever's coming is also eating up a Nightshade, so like, we've commanded the early game super well. And the other good thing is that Excadrill now is in KO range from an Aqua Jet from Golisopod. Incineroar just doesn't match up very well against Golisopod, and we've chunked away at the Milotic. We do have to watch out for Milotic maybe getting a Recover off, as Togekiss eats up a Nightshade before it maxes, which is really, really good. Yeah. So now we can safely max Lightning into Togekiss, I think, and just Nightshade into Excadrill's, I mean, not really a threat at all here, so we could double up onto like Togekiss, but Togekiss could max guard. Although I guess that max guarding isn't that much of a problem for me, so I'm just going to double up onto it. Because at this point, I think you actually have to Dynamax in Togekiss, right? Although I guess if you're committing to Dynamaxing Togekiss, you should max guard here. But this is one of the reasons why Special Dragapult's on this team in the first place. It matches up really well against things like Milotic and Corviknight, in which physical Dragapult just kind of gets hard walled by. But as you see, obviously, Special Dragapult does not do as much damage. So I think you have to max the Togekiss here, or max guard, because if you don't, you're eating up a +2 max Lightning in Electric Terrain. Which obviously you don't want to do. But they did not max guard, so this is just a Special Dragapult game going super, super hard. And it just one-shots, yeah. I think you have to max guard there. I'm never targeting the Excadrill slot. And this game could have played out pretty differently if my opponent actually just switched the way they switched in. So they switched in, obviously, the Excadrill, expecting another max Lightning in that slot. But had they switched in Togekiss, it would have negated my Warm Wind completely. So that's why I should have Phantasm in that slot instead. At that point, there's no point in going for attack decreases onto Incineroar, because like Incineroar's Dark type attacks aren't going to do too much to a Dragapult anyway, which is Dynamaxed. And I'm like, yeah, it does a fair amount to the Dusclops, but at that point, it's better to just guarantee damage with Phantasm. So while it ended up working, I mean, Phantasm would have also just one-shot the Excadrill. I think even if my opponent max guards there, like the Excadrill doesn't do enough to really pressure me, and I'm still getting a Thunderbolt off, and I could actually just end the game with Trick Room instead. So what I would have done was just Thunderbolt into Togekiss and I'd Trick Room, I think, and then sweep with Golisopod and Weezing in the back. But yeah, this was a game that highlights how good Special Dragapult can be. I know a lot of people often tend towards physical Dragapult, and for good reason. Let's just see, one more turn to Taunt. We have, yeah, Golisopod, Weezing in the back. We can just Thunderbolt Milotic here and Nightshade into Incineroar. And one of the other beautiful things about Thunderbolt and Max Lightning is obviously it stops Hypnosis. So even had my opponent gone for a blind Hypnosis turn 1, we would have been fine. But Special Dragapult put in so much work in this game. Effectively picked up a KO on every Pokemon so far. And we'll pick up the 4th onto Incineroar as well. Yeah, nice. So I think the Frisk was actually a really big deal there on turn 1, though. Had I not seen the Citrus Berry on the Milotic, I would have been more worried about Milotic Dynamaxing turn 1. Like, if we saw Life Orb, I definitely would have played this game differently. But as soon as I saw Citrus, I figured it was not going to be an offensive variant, and thus wouldn't have, like, Ice Beam. So I think that ended up being the case, but either way, Dragapult put in so much work for us. Yeah, it's going to end up picking up all 4 KOs. And, you know, like, Special Dragapult has value in the sense that it just, like, first of all, you're able to use Thunderbolt, right? So you're able to get coverage that physical Dragapult normally doesn't get super well. And there are some downsides. For example, like physical Dragapult, one thing it can do really well is go for Phantasms. You get defense drops, and that allows you to just do so much more damage in subsequent turns. Whereas with Special Pult, the drops from Phantasm don't really matter. But on the upside, as you see, if you go for Max Lightning, even if it doesn't pick up a KO, it sets up the terrain. So then following like +2 Max Lightnings just do so much damage when the terrain is up. So yeah. Pretty straightforward game there overall. I think that was always going to be a Dragapult game. I think like Milotic is obviously like one of the bulkiest Pokemon in the format, so you always have to be very careful about it. But the trick in dealing against bulky Pokemon like that is do enough where like it doesn't get to recover. Kind of similar concept against Dusclopses. For example, Dusclopses often carry Pain Split, so you don't want to just do damage to it because it can often just heal that damage off. Instead, what you want to do is like find a scenario where you do damage to it and then you can just KO it the next turn without it having the ability to heal back with Pain Split. So, yeah. Okay, we're going up against a classic Sun Trick Room team here. This is pretty much as classic as it gets. Yeah, Dragapult's typically not the route against this stuff because of the Indie, so I think we're leaving that on the bench. Golisopod, maybe? I mean, it's not bad here, right? I think what scares me is mainly the Torkoal, honestly. And I'm trying to figure out what to lead with. Like, I think I'm okay just going Incineroar, Dusclops, Golisopod, Weezing. Although I feel like there's probably a smarter lead, right? We could even lead Golisopod, but then it could just eat up a Psychic, which I don't like. Yeah. I might just go with the standard 4 then. Let's try it out. I think Golisopod could be very good here, but Torkoal scares me a little bit. like Eruption, Heat Wave obviously does a fair amount of damage, and I actually don't know how this mechanic works. Like if you switch in Wheezing after Torkoal's already set up the sun, I assume that at that point the sun has already been set, so you don't negate it. But that would be cool if that were the case. There was some weird Golisopod interaction or slash mechanic that I didn't know about that I learned while playing with this team. I don't remember what it was though. Was it weather related? No, it was confusion. That's what it was. Yeah. Okay. The idea with this lead is, yeah, they go with Dusclops and DD. Like, you probably, just follow me here, and, wait, do I even want to reverse their Trick Room? The problem is that my Dusclops can't even get parting shots. Or, sorry, Nightshades off against NDD. So my only damage against it is pretty much Sash NDD. Okay, well, that being Sashed, I guess is a good thing, because it means they're never getting a free switch out on turn 1. So, like, what I want to do here is just Throat Chop and Nightshade the Dusclops. Although, like I was saying earlier, I maybe don't necessarily want to just get damage off against Dusclops immediately. Yeah. I also want to quickly just double check Golisopod's speed relative to the Rhyperior. NDD swaps out though. Into Rhyperior. Okay, so he hard switches turn 1, which I think is actually a very good play. We speed tie, which makes this very scary. He's setting up Trick Room here for sure. Oh, the problem I guess is if you do Bulldoze here, right? Because if you Bulldoze, then the Rhyperior is guaranteed to be faster. Nice play by my opponent. I should have just parting shotted. I thought they would maybe play more passively, but in that position, there's no point to play passively. You can always afford to hard switch out turn 1. Okay. He also might be self-brick break, which is what I'm worried about, right? But I think I'm going to parting shot into... Ooh, actually, maybe just Throat Chop into Dusclops and reverse Trick Room here. Yeah, because you're going to max Rhyperior, and I think you're going to try to activate your weakness policy. So then the question is, like if I reverse the Trick Room, Golisopod will outspeed. This is also me assuming Bulldoze. Plus assuming Rhyperior KOs the Incineroar. But you should always beam in speed, I think. I should have just parting shotted turn 1 though. That would have been better. Parting shot into NDD. Yep, it is Bulldoze. Okay. So now the question is, did you target Dusclops? And if you didn't, I think we're actually in a pretty good shape. Because we get the free switching into Golisopod, and now your Rhyperior is slower. That's assuming you KO the Incineroar here. But it does make sense for my opponent to target the Dusclops. I'm just not sure it KOs. Okay, Quake comes out. Does go into Dusclops. Is that enough to one-shot? No, it isn't. Okay. Wait, that's actually really good for us then, right? Because I think another parting shot should KO, or sorry, another Throat Chop should KO Dusclops at this point. Yeah. Yeah, that's super good. So we reverse the Trick Room, and now I'm not sure if my opponent can even get a Trick Room up again. I would, in an ideal world, like to swap the Incineroar out, and the more I think about it, the more I think I don't need the Wheezing at this point. But, I'm actually not sure I outspeed the Dusclops. Or sorry, or their Dusclops is also going to be faster, which means they could Pain Split, which I don't like. So, I think we just say, yeah, we're going to Throat Chop here, and, this could be a position to ally switch. Yeah. I think I'm just going to go for the ally switch here. I don't really have a better play. Like, I could Nightshade, but I think there's a decent chance here you want to snipe down the Incineroar. If my opponent KOs Dusclops, that gives me a free switch in, which would be quite nice. Okay, nice. Reverse the Trick Room effectively, KO the Dusclops, so no more Trick Room from there. There could be, of course, another Trick Room setter in the hat in the back. And another Max Quake, but these Spadef boosts don't really matter too much. That did go into Dusclops, so that actually worked against my favor. Okay. Yeah, this is still tricky because of the threat of NDD in the back, and we know it's Focus Sashed. Yeah, maybe that ally switch wasn't worth it. I thought in that position they'd want to KO the Incineroar, but if we just Nightshaded there, we'd be in really good shape. I mean, you have to bring out NDD here, right? It's just that my Dusclops is so useless now. But with Weezing, I could take an attack and then Pain Split it off. You bring out the NDD, right? And then you Psychic into... Yeah, NDD actually just causes me too many problems still. If it weren't sashed, I think it'd be alright, but the fact that it's sashed is really tough. So I'm gonna Nightshade into the Rhyperior here and just protect. I think we still lose, actually. It's just the threat of redirection. Yeah, I mean, redirection is too much of a problem. I guess we will have the Dynamax advantage, right? So we can, like... Yeah, we just need damage against the NDD, though. That's the problem. Psychic into... Yep. Does that KO? It does. I still think I had to go for that play, though. He's gonna Quake. Yeah. So now I get in... Oh, I guess by getting in... so much damage. I guess by getting in my... My big water bug, Golisopod, you have to follow me, right? You don't Psychic here. You could actually just Psychic and Quake, or, because, like, I think I always go for the water type attack into the Rhyperior, but the question is what the NDD goes for. I actually think Psychicking is the correct play on NDD's end, but if you do that, then I KO the Rhyperior, which would be nice. And what I mean, if they follow me, oh, I have Wide Guard too. That's entirely too risky without knowing their movesets, I think. So I think I have to Geyser here into Rhyperior and Pain Split into NDD. Golisopod could win the 2v1 if it's NDD plus something else in the back. Yeah, maybe that ally switch in my end was maybe not a great play. Although, I mean, it's the same situation where if they're targeting the Incineroar there, the ally switch then saves me so much. And if... Yeah, but I think, I mean, Nightshade was always guaranteed damage, though I don't think the damage is actually super relevant at that point. Do they follow me? Oh, Rhyperior protected. Okay, that means protect Psychic, which is their best play. Actually, yeah, there's no reason to not protect Psychic there. Yeah, well done. Very well done on my opponent's end. Yeah, the problem in this game was NDD, mainly because of the threat of redirection. Weezing was not very good, and that ally switch ended up costing me as well, although I'm not really sure how much. Like, once again, if I call that incorrectly, I'm screwed anyway. Like, I'm in the same position, but... Because I really thought in that position they should be going for Incineroar, since Incineroar walls the NDD and can intimidate the Rhyperior. But I guess they just assessed my Dusclops as a bigger threat, so props to them. Yeah, in that position, maybe it wasn't the best. I'm not sure if there was like a better play per se. I mean, here they just follow me, right? My only way of winning is if they miss multiple attacks with Rhyperior. Yeah. I don't think Excadrill was the move in this game. Weezing was really useless for us in the end, which is like part of why Weezing can be kind of tough to use. Sash was tough on the NDD. Turn 1 I also should have Parting Shotted. Yeah, that was definitely a bad play on my end to just Darkest Lariat. Or sorry, Throat Chop. Because, like, NDD is never staying in there, especially if you have Focus Sash. Like, you burn a turn of your Trick Room effectively because your NDD is never getting KO'd there. So the switch out was super obvious. So me not Parting Shotting turn 1 cost me a lot. But they do miss the Rock Slide. That's a start. That is a start. Is there a reason ever to Flutterby here? No. Well, I mean, you follow me and, like, you could protect. No, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I mean, they follow me Rock Slide again here, right? If this was a 1v2, my opponent didn't have another Pokemon in the back, I'd say this was easily locked up. But they still have another Pokemon in the back, and it's probably going to be the, Torkoal, if I had to guess. If it's Hat, we have a shot at winning, especially if they miss here. But if it's Torkoal, we just lose. Yeah, and Rock Slide connects. I mean, they should win this game. They played better. Yeah, so Weezing was really useless for us here in the end, mainly because it takes so much damage from Quake. It was Hat. Oh, wow. Wait, that means we can still win if they miss another Rock Slide from Rhyperior. Because my play is always... Oh, I have Leech Life too, but it doesn't make a difference, does it? Yeah, it doesn't. So, I mean, our only play here is to hope for a miss from the Rhyperior. Yeah, I mean, Hat can't miss. Rhyperior can. Or hope for a choke, and they protect Rhyperior for some reason. But you should never do it. In this position, when I'm so low HP, you just attack with both Pokemon. So the odds are obviously in my opponent's favor, and they should have won this game already, but we had that lucky dodge to even be in it. But because it was Hat, man, yeah, if I stuck around with Incineroar, then I think we actually would have had this game, because Golisopod would have just swept. But my opponent correctly Fire Punches too. Yeah, well played. I had to hope that they didn't have Fire Punch or another move that was 100% accurate, but in the end they did. So yeah, they just went for the correct play there in the end. So yeah, the Ally Switcher ended up costing me. I think it's a good demonstration to show that Ally Switch isn't always going to work in your favor. And in that position, like, Dusclops being around was actually really bad. Like, my opponent would have helped me a lot, actually, if they just KO'd the Dusclops there. So wondering if they just really didn't want me to, like, reverse Trick Room again, or whether they were like, you know what, it's going to be really hard to KO Dusclops, I'm just going to get out of the way. So I assessed the situation incorrectly, thought they were going to target the Incineroar. Don't really regret the play, I guess, because I'm not sure I had a much clearer play, because the Rhyperior's Max Quake is just doing so much damage. I guess I could have switched out my Incineroar out into the Weezing there, and then gone for Nightshade onto my opponent's Dusclops, but if they had Pain Split, they were going to be faster than me, because they went for the Bulldoze. That would be really bad, because then I don't have a great way to deal damage on the Dusclops. I wanted to guarantee the KO onto Dusclops that turn. I think, yeah, I'm not sure there was like a guaranteed safe play there, which is why I went for the Ally Switch. So it ended up working out super well. In that end game, my opponent made the correct call as well, which was to attack with the NDD. So my only way around the Protect Psychic play is to protect with the Weezing and go for a Flutterby onto the NDD. But at that point, I would need to double Protect as well. But I do think that was my best play, because there's no reason for my opponent not to go for what they did. So I think I played turn 1 pretty poorly. I played that turn pretty poorly. But overall, like, great execution from my opponent. And it goes to show, I mean, one of the reasons why Hard Trick Room is so strong, right? Like, a +2 Rhyperior can just sweep through so easily if you're underprepared. Dragpult wasn't the answer in this game, nor was Excadrill, though, so I think the Pokemon choice was right. We just needed to play better with them, and we definitely had a bunch of plays that could have been improved on. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this one, and with our time for the team, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to DMats for providing the team. If you enjoyed, please show your support by leaving a like, and yeah, see you guys soon. As I mentioned, be streaming on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, so yeah, hope to see one of you guys there in the future streams, or all of you guys there in the future streams, as well as the future videos. So, yeah, alright, take care, guys. Peace.